Thank you for listening to GCN. Be sure to visit GCNlive.com today.
Okay, so talking about veggies and the ketogenic diet and weight loss. A few more things I want to say about veggies, and then we'll get into some practical aspects, some more practical, it's all practical, but some specific practical aspects of how to employ the ketogenic diet, which you want to kind of start in slowly with, and which you also don't necessarily need to go full-blown ketogenic. You know, the ketogenic diet can be employed in different degrees. If you're using the ketogenic diet for seizure disorders, you probably want to go 90% fat. That's what's recommended by medical folks. If you're just trying to lose weight, you may want to go 60 to 65% fats. In any case, it's a low-carb, high-fat, moderate protein diet to different degrees. We'll continue talking about that after I finish up a few more things about vegetables, which I find incredibly fascinating. Hopefully you do too. Last time we spoke, we talked about the electrical nature of veggies. In addition to the fact that there's these a whole class of nutrients, 25,000 or so of nutrients that are called phytonutrients or plant nutrients that are not found anywhere else. They're just found in veggies. Carotenes and flavonoids and lignans and saponins. We know them by names like beta-carotene or lutein or zeaxanthin or quercetin. You hear these periodically. You'll hear about these in the world of nutrition. They're only found in plants. They're tremendously valuable. And they're one of the main reasons why you want to make sure that most of your caloric intake, or at least most of the foods that you eat, are coming from vegetables. Vegetables. Yesterday we talked about how vegetables have this miraculous, magical way of electrifying minerals, of binding them up, of tying them up with proteins and making dead minerals or inorganic minerals into usable organic minerals. This is the greatest gift, in my opinion, the greatest gift that veggies give to the human beings and the animals that eat them. They can turn silt and rock and inorganic minerals into living substances, and nothing else is capable of this. With all our amazing scientific know-how and the biggest factories and the most sophisticated scientific techniques and intricate technologies, we can't even begin to approach the miraculous chemical processes that occur in the tiniest little spaces of the tiniest little bean sprout or the tiniest little beet top or celery leaf. This is truly a miracle of the highest degree. Vegetation eats rock. Vegetation then transforms that rock into nutritional minerals. It electrically vivifies the minerals so that the animals can eat them and then leverage the power of the minerals to sustain their livingness. Can't eat rocks, but you can eat those minerals or eat those rocks once they've been transformed into living minerals. The plant turns inorganic minerals into organic minerals, and just as spectacularly, by the way, via the bacteria that are associated with those plants, that live in the roots of those plants and the bacteria that are linked to them can turn nitrogen gas, inert nitrogen gas, which makes up 80% of our environment and is completely useless to the animals that live on the planet, including us. These nitrogen-fixing bacteria that are associated with the plants can turn this inert nitrogen gas into protein, into usable nitrogen. That's what protein really is. It's usable nitrogen. And this all occurs via the miracle of these plants and the nitrogen-fixing bacteria that live on the plants. Plants also transform the sun into matter. Another miracle. Plants can turn the sun into sugar. It's staggering. This is mind-boggling. How does the sun get turned into sugar via the action of a plant? Nobody knows. That's called photosynthesis, and it is another miracle performed by plants. Even the vitamins, themselves miraculous elements, and nobody understands really what the heck's going on, how to make vitamins. We can make some of them, but it takes humongous factories to do them, but not all of them. We can make a few, but plants can do it. Plants can make vitamins. Plants can make sugars. Plants can make fats. Plants can make protein. Plants can turn inorganic minerals into organic minerals. All of this occurs with a sophistication that to a biochemist is just mind-blowing. Should be mind-blowing to all of us, and this is in the humblest little vegetable, and nothing we can do in a laboratory. It doesn't matter. We don't need to do it in a laboratory. It's all set up for us, all a gift of the divine force, set up for us through the vegetating plant, i.e. the vegetable, which can be basically thought of as an intermediary between the earth, between the planet and the animal, between death and life, between inertia and animation. All nutrient material is formed in the vegetable world. The animal world makes nothing. The animal world just uses the vegetable world and then returns it back to the vegetable world so it could be recycled. The animal kingdom, us, animals, just uses stuff and recycles it back to the earth where the vegetation can pick it up again. So in a way, we're all vegetarians. Even carnivores and omnivores are ultimately only leveraging the power of vegetables. This is the logic of veganism. Why go to the intermediate when you can go to the source? Why derive nutrition from meat, which is in itself getting the nutritional value from vegetation? Well, there's an answer to that, which we're going to be talking about it. Animals have a way of concentrating the nutritional value of the vegetable in their flesh. So vegans will tell you, and vegetarians will tell you, why mess around with the meat? You can just go right to the vegetable. Vegetables, vegans and vegetarians will say, oh, vegetables have everything. They have protein. Well, what they're missing is animals densify those nutrients. Meat and dairy and other animal products are more nutritionally dense because the job of the animal is to compress all that power that's in the vegetable kingdom. You don't need to eat anywhere near as much meat to get the same nutritional value as you do from vegetables. This is the reason why animal products are so valuable. Despite what you hear from vegans and vegetarians, animal products are tremendously valuable. And it's unfortunate to avoid that value, in my humble opinion. But there's a dark side, too. We'll talk about that when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this.
Don't know what's in your drinking water? Better get a ProPure. With the Pro 1G 2.0 all-in-one filter, remove over 200 contaminants, including fluoride and lead. Taste water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure water filtration products. There's a ProPure system for you. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details on our current free shipping special or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Destroy harmful bacteria, allergens, bedbugs, dust mites, fleas in your home with the Ladybug Steam Vapor System. The Ladybug dies deep on surfaces without any toxic residue. Traditional control agents contain toxic chemicals which do more harm than good. Sanitize and disinfect using just water. Quick, fast, and surprisingly easy.
Find out more now by calling 800-997-6584. Ask for Randy. That's 800-997-6584. Or go to advap.com/GCN. That's advap.com/GCN.
You haven't experienced yogurt until you've tried a Mossy, embodying health and flavor in a true whole milk, green-fed dairy beverage. Every sip pays homage to our old world cows and the ancient culturing methods their milk benefits from. With over 30 probiotics, a Mossy's undeniably nutritious, refined, cultured sensation bolsters your health and awakens your passion for dairy. A Mossy's so good, and you need to try it. Contact your Longevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
Are you tired of the cold this winter? Are you prepared for the next blizzard or snowstorm? What will you do when the power and heat go off? That could be our future. Fortress Clothing's Bug Out Bag with our head-to-toe solution is your one-step answer to survival in the cold. It doesn't expire, it doesn't go bad, it's lightweight and mobile, and it doesn't just sit on the shelf waiting for an emergency. You can use Fortress today. Be warm and comfortable if you or your family work in the cold. Be warm and comfortable while you play, hunt, fish, camp, ski, paraglide, go sledding with the family, or just shovel the walks. You will never be cold again. FortressClothing.com is the answer. Your emergency preparedness solution to the cold. Your solution to working or playing in the cold. Visit us at FortressClothing.com and enter RADIO. Buy now and receive your 20% off discount. You will never be cold again. FortressClothing.com. It could save your life one day.
Okay, so in a way, we're all vegetarians. If we're eating meat, we're still accessing the power of the vegetable, concentrated as it may be. This is what makes meat and dairy and other animal products so darn valuable and why it's so unfortunate to avoid them. Now, if you have philosophical reasons why you don't want to eat meat, I can't argue with that. I'm not a big believer in killing things to eat them. That doesn't turn me on to do it. But we live, this is the way the world is structured. It's called the food chain. And I didn't make it up. It's just there. Little things eat bigger things, and the bigger things get eaten by still bigger things. That's just how it works. And that's called the food chain. And when it comes to meat and dairy and eggs and animal products, you don't need to eat anywhere near as much of them to get the same nutritional value that you would from vegetables. Save the phytonutrients, except for the phytonutrients, which you have to pretty much eat veggies to get. The phytonutrients are dense in vegetables, but with the exception of the phytonutrients, you're going to get more of everything when you eat meat, because animals densify the vegetation. That's their job. Animals are in constant movement, constant activity, and this makes their nutrients readily available. This makes meat a source of readily available nutrition. Much of the nutritional value of plants is locked up. It's tied up. It's difficult to get to. It has to be released by processing, by cooking, by grinding, by heat, by enzymes. There's various different ways to do it. Fermentation. Living forces such as bacteria have a way of loosening up those nutrients. Even if you're not going ketogenic, veggies should play a key role in all healthy diets. I'm not saying that vegetables are not important. They're tremendously important. They're filling, they're medicinal, they're nature's way of turning rocks into nutrition. They can turn inert soil substances and make them usable minerals. This was one of Dr. Wallach's brilliant insights. This is what plant-derived minerals are all about. This is what drives longevity. This is what drives the longevity business. This is what makes the Beyond Tangy Tangerine so powerful. But as important as they are, in my opinion, and it's true, we should be eating more from the veggie food groups than any other. But this does not diminish the value of animal foods. True, meat and dairy have their problems. To a lesser extent, eggs have problems. Seafood have problems, mostly because of how we raise them and how we feed them. Antibiotics and hormones and how we take care of our animals. There's big problems associated with meat and animal products. However, when it comes to electrical energy and nutrient density, i.e. nutrient value per unit of food eating, per unit of food that we eat, and the electrical energy, vegetables are not even remotely close to the pure, raw nutritional power, not raw, but pure nutritional power found in animal foods. Sorry, vegetarians. As much as I love my broccoli and Brussels sprouts, and as important as those phytonutrients are, when it comes to nutritional bang for your food buck, veggies can't even touch an egg. A stalk of broccoli can't even begin to come close to the power of an egg, or a glass of raw milk, or a piece of liver. Interestingly, by the way, the most powerful, nutritionally dense, non-animal food, when it comes to nutrient density, are going to be fungus and mushrooms, which are technically a cross between an animal and a vegetable. So fungus have a certain quality that animal food, a certain animal food or animal nutrient quality that meat may have. That's why you can get vegetarians sometimes will eat portobello mushroom steaks. It almost looks like a steak. It has a beefy quality to it. There's certain nutrients like vitamin D, for example, that are typically animal nutrients that are found in fungus and mushrooms. So if you are a vegetarian, you want to be able to leverage the power of the mushroom. Mushrooms do have some pretty important nutritional, especially for vegetarians, some pretty important nutritional benefits. But when it comes to animal foods, when it comes to understanding the power of eggs and flesh and dairy, we got to go back to our electrical model of food. In terms of the stuff of life, as we move up the food chain, energy becomes more and more concentrated, more electrically dense. Yesterday we talked about the mineral kingdom. This is the most fundamental kingdom on planet Earth, what we call rocks. Now, the electrical nature of minerals is pretty obvious. Some rocks will spontaneously emit electrical energy. We call that radiation, radioactivity. That's what magnetism is all about. So certainly there is an electrical energy associated with rocks. Rocks are capable of generating an electrical charge when they're pressurized, when pressure is applied to them. That's called piezoelectricity, which means pressure electricity. There's other rocks that will emit light. Phosphorus, for example, is a light-emitting rock. Some rocks, like granite and quartz, will have a crystalline nature, crystalline structure, which allows them to store energy and release energy, just like a battery. Still, the electrical nature of rocks is such that the energy is not concentrated enough that they have much nutritional value for animals. You can't eat rocks and get any nutrition, even though rocks, technically speaking, have the minerals we need. Thus, the importance of the plants. Thus, the importance of the fungus, by the way, and lichen. Fungus and lichen can also get nourishment from rocks. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. Got to take a break. I want to say a couple more things about vegetation, which is pretty incredible, the humble little vegetable. Not to say that animal foods are not important. They are tremendously valuable. That's because of how energy is concentrated as we move up the kingdom chain. I don't want to say the food chain, but the kingdom chain. Rocks emit energy. Rocks are highly energetic or relatively highly energetic. That's what radioactivity is about. But vegetables are even more energetic. They concentrate the rocks. They, in essence, eat the rocks. And this is why vegetables will rot eventually. Remember, we always say in the world of nutrition, when a food or a nutritional element rots, or when it decays, that's a measurement of its nutritional value. The more it rots, the more it decays. The faster it rots, the faster it decays, the more energy it has. Rocks don't rot. But as you move up the chain, vegetables begin to break down over time because vegetables are higher energy than rocks. That's how you could tell a vegetable has higher energy than rocks, because it will rot over the course of time. It will start to break down over the course of time. But then you go up one step, you go up one more step to the animal kingdom. The animal kingdom even densifies the nutrients even more. Animals are the next step in the food chain up from vegetables, and they really densify the nutrients. And this is why they're so valuable. This is why they're so nourishing. This is why they're so satisfying, and this is why they rot so quickly. The world of nutrition, the higher the electrical energy of a nutrient or food, the higher the vibration, the more valuable it is, and the more fragile it is. And this is why animal foods are so much more expensive than plant foods. They're fragile. They don't lend themselves to commodification. They're not commodities. They're not as easily made into commodities. Yes, they're commodities, but not as easily made into commodities as grains and vegetables, which are more stable. Now, vegetables are fragile as well, but they're nowhere near as delicate and as perishable as animal products. So as we go up the food chain, rocks turn into vegetables, which then turn into animal foods, and we get higher and denser electrical energy and higher vibration. Animal products, theoretically anyway, are the most nutritionally valuable of all foods. I say theoretically because we've contaminated the way we process our animal foods so significantly that we lose value. They lose value, unfortunately. But theoretically, the most nutritionally valuable of all foods are your animal foods. And vegetarians are going to be missing out on a lot of nutritional value by avoiding them. If you're philosophically a vegetarian, well, I can't argue with that. But as far as health goes and as far as food benefit goes, don't let any vegetarian tell you that animal foods are not healthy. They are very, very healthy. Not to diminish the power of veggies, which in my opinion should make up most of what we eat, but it's tragic to not eat the egg or dairy or even meats, and seafood certainly. As toxic as we made our oceans, by the way. All right, tomorrow I'll say a couple things about how to really leverage the power of your vegetables, especially if you're going ketogenic, and then we will continue talking about the ketogenic diet. We'll finish up talking about the ketogenic diet, get some practical aspects of it. Okay, 844-236-6010 is our number on the bright side. Andre in California, what's going on? Welcome.
Hey, good morning, Ben. How are you?
Good morning, my friend. What's going on today?
I talked to you about a month ago about the thyroid problem and Graves' disease on my eyes, and now my eye doctor wants me to do an MRI to figure out what's going on behind the eyeball.
Okay.
Something pushing. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, MRIs are amazing, first of all. The science behind the MRI involves basically nuclear physics, quantum physics. It's just mind-blowing. I really don't even understand how it works, the MRI, but basically it works with the nucleus of water atoms and hydrogen atoms and water, and it's just an amazing device. But it's not you don't really have to worry about an MRI. There's no toxicity or side effects or danger associated with MRIs. But I'm more concerned about your Graves' disease. Did we talk about food with your Graves'?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about food, and you told me to try to avoid fruit and sugar. I don't eat too much. I don't eat sugar. I just eat like maybe about 5 servings of fruit a day. Is that too much?
Wait. Just 5 servings of fruit a day? That's a tremendous amount of fruit. Are you serious? Did you say fruit or food?
Fruit.
That's a lot of fruit, my friend. What are you eating? What kind of fruit?
A couple of tangerine in the morning, some pineapples, grapes throughout the day.
Dude, you are pounding the fruit, my friend. You are pounding the fruit. I would back down significantly on that. Why not switch over to veggies? You probably like
a lot of veggies too.
Switch over to veggies. Have one piece of fruit. Switch over to veggies. How about the B vitamins? Are you using lots of B vitamins?
B vitamins. I do a multivitamin, but I want to get the
Andre.
90.
Here's the thing, Andre. I'm not going to beat you up on this because, we all get to live our lives. But you're interacting with the medical model unnecessarily. You could take care of this yourself. First of all, and I'm not only speaking to you, I'm speaking to other folks who have Graves' disease. The first and most important thing to recognize about Graves' disease is that it is an autoimmune disease. You've heard that term, I'm sure, right? Autoimmune disease?
Yes, I have.
Okay, they told you they told you have an autoimmune disease. Here's the thing about autoimmune diseases like Graves. You're more susceptible to other autoimmune diseases. The way an autoimmune disease works is, for some reason, the body looks at your thyroid, in your case, as being the enemy. And this usually has to do with the foods you're eating. Not necessarily the sugar, which is really hyping up the thyroid and really messing up your metabolism, but really, more importantly, some food that you don't agree with. In other words, a food intolerance or a food allergy. Autoimmune diseases are linked to something called leaky gut syndrome. And leaky gut syndrome is when food particles get into the blood. The digestive process is so amazing. If we were to take a hamburger, or you were to take your tangerine, for example, Andre, and you were to inject that tangerine into your blood, peel it, of course, and just inject the pulp right into your blood, it would kill you. But somehow, through the digestive process, when we eat foods, the foods are made safe so they can get into the blood. However, if our digestive process isn't working completely, if we're not digesting our food completely, then food particles can leak into the blood undigested. And this is where autoimmunity comes in. Hang on, Andre. We got to take a break. We'll finish up when we come back. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. We're talking to Andre in California about Graves' disease and MRIs, I guess. I hope I'm not giving you too much information here, Andre, but a lot of people are dealing with Graves' disease. It's a big problem. A thyroid disease in general is a big issue. Mostly hypo, but hyperthyroidism, it's got to be miserable. I can only imagine. Graves' disease is when your thyroid goes crazy and your blood pressure goes up and you sweat, and you got oily skin, and you're all jittery and insomnia and anxiety. Does it sound right, Andre? Am I describing that correctly?
Yeah, but I don't get too much of those symptoms. My main symptoms is I see double.
Oh, you see double. Okay. All right. That can happen. Yeah, eye problems definitely can happen. Sometimes people's eyes will bulge. Do you have the bulging thing with the eyes? Do your eyes go?
Not too much bulging, but it seems like my eyes is going in more inner, like inside, towards my nose.
I see. Okay. Well, yeah, all that is associated with Graves', which is an autoimmune disease. And before we went to break, I was telling you about the digestive system. If you were to take a hamburger and grind it up and mush it up and put it in an IV and inject it into your blood, it would kill you. But somehow we can eat that hamburger, and it does go into our blood. ultimately, and we're fine. Why is that? Well, the digestive process breaks up the food into tiny little particles, super tiny little particles, and then those tiny little particles get into the blood, and we're fine. However, if the digestive system is not working correctly, and the food is not getting crushed up into the little particles, and bigger particles are leaking into the blood, that's where we run into problems. This activates an immune response in the blood at first. Ultimately, as those particles deposit in various parts of the body, it will activate an immune response against the organs and various systems of the body. You can have and by the way, I did a video on autoimmune diseases up at criticalhealthnews.com if anybody's interested in checking that out. So in your case, the particles are landing in your thyroid, and now your body's attacking the thyroid because it looks different. It looks like the enemy, if you will. So you got to focus on foods. That means all the things we talk about, the elimination diet. I'd be fasting if I could. The 5 fruits a day definitely is not a good idea. Make sure you're using digestive enzymes with all your meals and the good bacteria as well, the probiotics. If you want to reduce your symptoms immediately, Andre, fast for a day or two. Do a Suero V cleanse and just fast for 1 or 2 days, and you'll notice a dramatic decrease in your symptomology, whatever it is, if it's your eyes or wherever your symptoms are. As far as the MRI goes, I wouldn't worry about that too much. That's the least of your problems at this point.
Okay, and when you fast, Ben, do you just drink water, or can you drink juice? Or
no, juice is a big problem.
Or
Veggie juice, not fruit juice. Veggie juice you could do. Fruit juice could be a problem because the sugar is readily accessible and it can throw off your insulin chemistry, and it could throw off a lot of things. So you want to stay away from sugars, but vegetable juice can be helpful. Lemon, like a squeeze of lemon in some water maybe, and just do a little lemon juice, or do a Suero V cleanse where I don't know if you're doing the longevity products, Andre, but we have a product called Suero V. Check out the Suero V, SUEROVIE, and you could do a Suero V fast where you do half a bottle every hour. I'm sorry if I gave you too much information. I didn't mean to, but there's a lot of folks who have thyroid problems, and we're helping everybody out here today. Is that okay, Andre?
Well, I appreciate that.
God bless you, my friend.
I really appreciate all the information. Thank you so much.
Okay, buddy. Take care, man. Have a beautiful day. All right, let's go to Michigan and welcome Beth to the bright side. Good morning, Beth.
Good morning.
Hey.
I have a friend who is diabetic. And interestingly, it seems to kind of run in the family. He had a brother with it and a sister that developed it at a very young age. And the brother did too. Now, he's older and has developed it, and I'm wondering what I can do to help.
So easy, Beth. This is the most tragic of all our health conditions. You know, if you look at the statistics, mortality statistics in the United States, you'll find that diabetes is the 3rd leading cause of death. But when you factor in that diabetes is associated with cardiovascular disease, which is the 1st leading cause of death, and diabetes is associated with cancer, which is the 2nd leading cause of death, diabetes, with all of these, when you add all these factors in, diabetes is the #1 cause of death in this country and probably around the world, and a source of untold amount of misery. And here's where it becomes so tragic. It's unnecessary. It's, for the most part, an eating disease. It's how we eat. So all you got to do is control how you eat. Now, of course, that's easier said than done because, as we talked about last week at length, we get addicted to food, we get conditioned to food, we're hypnotized to eat, we eat for emotional reasons. We're the only animals that eat because we're depressed. Lions don't get depressed. Lions don't eat because they're depressed. Animals in the wild don't eat when they're bummed out. We do, with the exception, by the way, of domesticated animals, which that do get diabetes. But wild animals don't eat emotionally. We do. Part of the domestication process, and it could be argued that we are intentionally domesticated through fluoride and through sugar and through processed food, and why that is, well, I'll leave that up to you listeners to decide why we're intentionally domesticated, but you can pretty much guess. The fact of the matter is we eat for reasons that are not associated to health, not associated to what we need. We eat not just because we're hungry, not just because we need to be nourished. This is what diabetes is. Diabetes is our punishment for eating incorrectly. And I know that might be politically incorrect. I'm sorry to say. But that's just the health facts. That's just the scientific facts. Diabetes is the price we pay for eating incorrectly. But the good news is we can turn it around instantly. by simply changing how we eat and then throwing in some nutritional supplements that help us process sugar. So, number one, you got to stop eating so many, not you, but your friend or whoever's dealing with this issue has to stop eating so many calories, especially calories that come from refined flour and sugar. And that includes fruits, unfortunately, today. Although small amounts of fruits are not necessarily a problem, but big melons and, eating honeydew and eating fruit 5 times a day, etc., that could be a problem. So restricting your intake of processed foods, processed sugars, processed carbs, starchy veggies, sweet fruits, etc. Step number 1. Step number 2, making sure you use nutrients that help you process sugar, and there's a slew of them. Chromium and vanadium, superstars for processing sugar. Niacin, vitamin B3, superstar for helping the body process sugar. Vitamin B1, thiamine, superstar for helping the body process sugar. Sulfur is important. Sulfur is an element in the molecule insulin. Selenium is also important. The amino acid taurine is important. The amino acid arginine is important. Omega-3 fatty acids are important. More fiber, important. More water, especially after meals. If you fall off the wagon, drink a bunch of water. If you go to a party and you eat a bunch of sweets or insulin spiking foods, drink a bunch of water. Now, also, it's important to recognize that blood sugar will spike when our cortisol goes up, when we're under stress. So making sure, this is how stress makes you fat. You may have heard it hasn't been advertised as much lately, but there used to be commercials running for how stress makes you fat. Have you heard about, anti-cortisol kinds of supplements? You remember that a couple of years ago they were talking about that? This is why. When we're under stress, our liver will release sugar and our blood sugar will go up. So relaxing the body is also important. Last but most certainly not least, probiotics and good bacteria. This is new news. This is recent news, at least within the last year or so. The microbiome, that is bacteria that live in the gut, have a major role to play in sugar metabolism and in energy processing. So making sure you're taking care of gut health, that intestinal health, using probiotics, the Biolumin Nightly Essence, as well as fermented foods, and then also keeping the environment hospitable for good bacteria with fiber and vegetables, veggie juices. Beth, this is so tragic. It's heartbreaking because not only is it a leading cause of death, but it's a leading cause of blindness. It's a leading cause of amputation. It's just a leading cause of misery. And if you go to a doctor, you're going to end up with a toxic drug, an awful drug, and that's not going to increase your longevity one whit, even though it may lower your blood sugar artificially. So please, Beth, I would encourage you to start using or have your friend start using some of these nutrients and take advantage of these nutritional strategies that we talk about all the time. Last but not least, go ketogenic. Use the ketogenic diet. Have your friend listen to our archives for the last couple of days when we're talking about the ketogenic diet. Okay, I know I gave you a bunch of information, but you can listen to it on the archives at Ben Fuchs Archives or brightsideben.com. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. All right, David in Texas, you get the last word. What's up, my friend?
Hey, good morning, Ben. This is Dave in Austin, Texas.
Hey, Dave.
A couple things. I'll try to make it really quick.
Yes.
You had a caller just a few minutes ago referring to his Graves' disease.
Yes.
You got me through my Graves' disease. When the doctors wanted to remove my thyroid, I had it really bad. I had eyes, and I was actually growing boobs, man. It was terrible.
Isn't that awful?
It was horrendous. So,
how'd you do it? I got about 20 seconds. Give us a couple of quick tips, and then I'm going to have to let you go because we only got 20 seconds.
Get that gut in shape with the ultimate enzymes, man. Get lots of oxygen, deep breathe, and get nutrients, man. Get some nutrition, through the BTT, veggie juice, whatever it takes, and reduce that stress, man.
Thank you.
And I could get you to talk about Ezekiel bread, man.
I'll try and talk about that tomorrow. David, I got to go. Thank you so much, man. Have a beautiful day. That's all the time we have for today. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have a beautiful, spectacular, awesome day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.
Pharmacist Ben Fuchs believes virtually all disease states can be backtracked to digestive problems.
Deficiencies in stomach acid can affect all downstream systems. Taking digestive enzymes can be amazingly helpful for dealing with deficiencies in stomach acid. Enzymes require low pH for activation. You can also use aloe vera juice, by the way. Sugars in aloe vera have a coating effect on the digestive system. Longevity has a cool product called Noni Plus, which is made from aloe mallow in the noni fruit. It's tasty. It can also function to support digestive acidification of the stomach, and activation of digestive enzymes.
Take Pharmacist Ben's advice and support your digestive system by ordering Noni Plus from Longevity. Call 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470, or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and negative articles can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? ReputationDefender.com can help protect your good name. Get a free consultation now. Call 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis from ReputationDefender.com right now. Call 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com to... Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
This is an important message to all listeners. If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, the tax pros at OIC Tax want to help you. OIC Tax is dedicated to helping taxpayers just like you with their IRS problems.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS. I was working long hours and weekends just to make ends meet. To make matters worse, the IRS was about to garnish my wages, and I needed to file several years of back tax returns. Then I called the tax professionals at OIC Tax. They stopped the IRS from garnishing my wages. They even placed my account into the IRS's financial hardship program, so I don't have to make any payments to the IRS. That's right, no payments to the IRS while I'm in this program.
Call OIC Tax today to see if you qualify for the IRS's hardship program. Call 800-272-9128. Call now and mention you heard this radio commercial and receive 10% off their already low fees. 800-272-9128. That number, 800-272-9128. Call now, 800-272-9128.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Serious investors and traders want to make 81% return in 60 seconds? Use the same secret algorithm professional hedge fund managers use to make billions of dollars of profits. Turn $250 into $4,903 in just 7 clicks of a mouse. Our tool is so simple that my 82-year-old grandmother can use it to make insane stock market profits. Go to BigBuckRiches.com. Watch the free video before the hedge funds make us take it down. Go to BigBuckRiches.com. From the Robert Allen System, current returns not indicative of future results.
Destroy harmful bacteria, allergens, bed bugs, dust mites, fleas in your home with the Ladybug Steam Vapor System. The Ladybug dives deep on surfaces without any toxic residue. Traditional control agents contain toxic chemicals which do more harm than good. Sanitize and disinfect using just water. Quick, fast, and surprisingly easy.
Find out more now by calling 800-997-6584. Ask for Randy. That's 800-997-6584. Or go to advap.com/GCN. That's advap.com/GCN.
Sciatica, lower back pain, hip pain, poor posture. If you suffer from any of these problems, get ready to relax. Introducing an amazing product that's been in the market for over 25 years, the Sacro Wedgie. It was invented by a football coach using a common-sense osteopath technique. He created this device to help his athletes by isolating and supporting the sacrum, which is the keystone of our anatomy. This wedge-shaped bone is in the center of our hips, where a lot of pain starts. Simply relax 20 minutes daily on the amazingly simple Sacro Wedgie and let gravity do the work, helping muscles rebalance and start releasing nerves. Sit in the Sacro Wedgie at the computer or while traveling to help correct posture to finally help relieve those stubborn aches and pains for only $33.95. It's made in the USA, so click the family-owned website at sacrowedgie.com, spelled SACROWEDGY.com, or call 1-800-737-9295. That's 1-800-737-9295. Relax your back pain away with the Sacro Wedgie.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $7.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
You haven't experienced yogurt until you've tried a Mossy, embodying health and flavor in a true whole milk, green-fed dairy beverage. Every sip pays homage to our old world cows and the ancient culturing methods their milk benefits from. With over 30 probiotics, a Mossy's undeniably nutritious, refined, cultured sensation bolsters your health and awakens your passion for dairy. A Mossy's so good, and you need to try it. Contact your Youngevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
Ted Anderson telling you about Jordan Rubin's Beyond Organic Green-Fed Raw Cheddar Artesian Cheese featuring whole milk created through ancient dairy breeding, unpasteurized, untreated whole milk on the same farm the cows graze, containing natural sources of omega-3s, CLA protein, calcium, probiotics, and enzymes. I have never tasted cheese this good, and you need to try it. Contact your Youngevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.